The Oxford Committee for Famine Relief. Their motto is, "The Power of People Against Poverty." My name's Abigail Cox, and in this oral group presentation on humanitarians, I'm going to talk all about Oxford for Group 6 in the Intro to Service Learning class online. OXFAM has a really rich history dating all the way back to the 1900s. According to OXFAM of America's website, the group was founded in 1942 to provide famine relief for refugees in Greece during World War II. Since then, their efforts have continued long past World War II, having their hands in several different projects that provide funds and materials throughout Europe and across the globe. Although OXFAM International is an international nonprofit, this wasn't always so. For example, OXFAM America started in 1970 as a result of a great famine that was forming in Bangladesh during the fight for independence for that country. So that's just one committee that was started. There's several hundreds of committees across the globe. So now that we've kind of talked a little bit about the history of OXFAM, it's about time that we talk about what OXFAM actually does. They have several endeavors throughout the whole globe. That's why in their mission statement, the group boldly declares that they are a huge group that fights injustice and poverty. So as you can imagine, two things that are just so big, injustice and poverty, they have many different things that they do throughout the globe. A list of kind of what they do: they fight against poverty, they provide food for the hungry, they provide clean water, they fight for human rights, and of that includes living in a safe environment. They also have many women's efforts to empower women. They also help communities cope with climate change, and they provide financial services and fighting against legislation that would negatively affect those in poverty. Alright, so one of the biggest aspects of what OXFAM does is provide disaster relief. For those in poverty, disasters can disproportionately affect them because they don't have the funds or materials to survive after a big disaster. So OXFAM helps a lot with providing funds for those in need after disaster relief. I'm sure you've recently heard about the big cyclone that ripped through Africa. Well, OXFAM is actually currently working to provide food, water, materials, etc. to help the families that were affected by this crazy natural disaster. To the right is a picture of a family in western Zimbabwe whose home was destroyed by the cyclone. This cyclone has really affected a lot of people, and it's great that OXFAM has lended their hand towards these families. As mentioned earlier, OXFAM does have a lot of efforts not only to help women, but also to help provide clean water. And as I was researching this organization, something big that I thought that recently they did was in Jordan, they have a really bad problem with having access to clean water. In an article posted by OXFAM, they stated that over 40% of water in Jordan is lost due to leakages. So OXFAM actually had a really intuitive, unique idea to help this problem. They helped women in Jordan learn plumbing skills, which ended up being really, really useful, not only to help Jordan's plumbing problems, but also to empower women to break into a male-dominated field. This also allowed women to make money for the first time, allowing them to have financial mobility. In the article, it actually talked about one woman that was able to save the money that she got and open a salon. So she not only has a hair salon, but also is a plumber on the side, which I think is such an amazing, empowering story. This slide basically just shows some of those Jordan women doing some plumbing on a faucet and a water tank. Another unique way that OXFAM has help provide food for those in need is try to find a solution for growing food in a desert. As you can imagine, it's really difficult for those that do live in deserts to cultivate any type of food. But in 2017, OXFAM began a hydroponics project so that people in dry areas would be able to cultivate food without the presence of soil. So, an OXFAM engineer, Talib Burhim, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but he created a solution that would create an immense amount of fodder to help feed goats. This ended up being a really unique solution to their problem. Because by providing feed to the goats, it ensures that the animals have the nutrients needed so that when their products, such as like goat milk, stuff like that, are produced, they actually have nutrients. Before, goats in the desert areas where this was, going on, they would eat like really bad things for them, like plastic, and have nasty food all the time, and that would make sure that the people that would eat goat milk or any goat products had no nutrients at all. So that was something that I thought was really cool that OXFAM did. So in conclusion, according to Merriam-Webster, the definition of being a humanitarian is a person that promotes the human welfare and social reform. And OXFAM committees across the world uphold this definition on a daily basis. It's actually incredible to look and see what this amazing nonprofit has been able to do to help eradicate poverty, promote peace throughout the world, because they've been a committee that has just such a long history of helping people. I'm pretty sure on the website it actually said that they are the largest nonprofit across the globe that helps with famine relief. So OXFAM's work is just very highly admirable, and it's honestly an inspiration in such a seemingly negative world. Here is my works cited page. Nothing too crazy there. Thanks so much for listening. Bye-bye.